Traralgon Bowls Club. Amazing food for you and your family. Function rooms for celebrating with your friends. Corporate spaces for meetings and conferences. With special benefits for members. Visit us today at the Traralgon Bowls Club. More than just a bowls club. The Traralgon Bowls Club. Amazing.
Good evening and welcome to the Traralgon Bowls Club. Here for VBL finals weekend. Game 1 between the Sebastopol Burras and the Deer Park Club. I'm Jimmy Whitehead and joined on this awful weather Friday evening, but fabulous inside the indoor centre here at Traralgon. Tony Sherwell, how are you, mate?
Very good, Jimmy. Good evening, everybody. Yeah, fabulous to be inside here at Traralgon Bowls Club. Somebody else who enjoying it is Robbie Baker with 2 excellent pills to start with.
Yeah, he's started off real well here. So for the Sebastopol Burras, we've got Robbie Baker, as you can see on screen here, leading up for Brenton Code. And then the 2 good mates from Deer Park Club, Chris Ball leading up for James Pearce to skip. They play a lot of bowls together, them two. It's their third and skip in their pennant rinks. Have played together for a couple of years and at Deer Park and many years before at various other clubs. So this should be a corker of a game to get us kicked off for this finals weekend as Robbie Baker triples up tone.
Make it look very easy so far. It's well, look, it's a kindish rink, but the quality of these players are going to make anything look kind. So we expect to see some nice compact heads throughout the evening.
3 bowl pairs format. We've got pairs and triples happening at the moment, singles and fours after this. Finals weekend consists of 2 sections of 4 teams, so the 8 teams in total that came winners, section winners and runners up across the first 2 sectional weekends. Deer Park winning their section, the Burras sneaking in with 2nd spot behind Yarraville Footscray Dogs in their section. Brendan's just got to not make this any bigger than it is. Probably maybe cover the bowls at the back, but it's very hard to see the jack going back there. So I think he'll just sort of draw on the backhand and try not to make too much of a target.
A nice bit of coverage out the back. Smart play. Here's James Pearce. Nickname is Snorkel. You'll probably hear us refer to him as Snorkel every now and again. Current Victorian State Representative. Yeah, great effort. Watching James Pearce and Chris Ball having a roll up earlier on today. They did not miss much at all. Looking forward to seeing what they can do.
Evening, Chris and Sarah. Hope you're strapped in back in Melbourne. The wind is insane today. Across all of the state.
It actually said on the app, feels like minus 1.7.
That's great. When you were here in Traralgon?
Yeah, it was about 8 degrees outside, but feels like nothing nice. But, as we say, beautiful in here. It's a fantastic facility here, Traralgon Bowls Club. One fully enclosed green. An awesome spectators area up on the first level.
Yeah.
There's a lovely deck to oversee all the 8 rinks.
Get a bit of use. The Snorkel goes wide there, so there's still 3 to the Burras here. Yeah, I like the call from Robbie Baker just in front. Evening, Lucas. Who the Bombers got in finals?
Yeah, I'm not too sure how the Bombers will go in finals, but maybe Lucas can let us know.
Oh, terrific boots a bowl at the back there. Can he add a 4th? What a start this would be for the Burras. Because next door in the triples, Deer Park have picked up a 3-tone. So they've drawn him for 5. What a bowl. Pressure is on.
Saw him miss with his first runner. He doesn't miss too often, James Pearce.
How's he gone? He's going to miss by Chris's reaction. What a start that is. Looks like
4 or 5. It is 4.
Just a 4.
Good pick up to Sebastopol Burras. They pick up 4, which you say, Jimmy, that levels out and a little more on the triples rink next door. So pairs and triples on at the same time. Both 15 ends, 3 bowl pairs and 2 bowl triples. Later on we have the reverse legs, which is the singles and the 4s.
Yeah, on the live stream we'll have Brighton Blue Devils versus Club Sunbury Extremes. That'll be a corker. Chris Rosanna's for Brighton and Ali Forsyth for the Extreme.
Yeah, looking forward to that match. Chris Rosanna was an absolute star last weekend up at Club Barron.
Yeah, Robbie not far away again. Looks like he's dialed in early. To be fair, I reckon I've been here since about 2:30 and he's been on the rink the entire time since I've been here. So if anyone was going to be warmed up, it would have been Robbie Baker.
Well, he hasn't been too well lately, so probably hasn't put a lot of bowls down the last few weeks, but was missing in action last week, but good to see him back now.
You've been doing your tips, Tone, or?
I have. I'm not quite leading, going as well as yourself, but going okay. I had a couple of 1s in there which didn't help in a few rounds. But
who'd you tip in this one?
I've tipped Deer Park in this. I just think Sebas can have a good day, but I think Deer Park just has that little edge over them.
Corrected his line, just over corrected his weight.
You see the players there doing live scoring throughout this whole match, so you can see Brenton and James Pearce just coming together conferring scores from end 1, entering it straight into their mobile phone, and that will populate all of our ladders and everything. Not a scorecard in use at all in the whole event.
I've been talking to the players about it. They've not been, like they said, it's easy. I think the adjustment's going to be carrying a phone in the pocket, something heavy. Like I know a lot of players don't want measures in the pockets when they're playing, things like that. So that'll be an adjustment.
Yeah, I saw a few last weekend just putting it down behind the rink marker.
Right, see if Robbie can beat his first. He's asking for it to just ease a bit. Good home. You got a tip for the overall, Tony? You think it's taken out? Deer Park going back to back, or you fancy someone else?
Oh, look, I think Deer Park's got a be a good chance, but I just don't think they can. I think these 8 teams are all pretty level, and I think anyone who goes back to back has got to have a lot of things going right. So I'm going to pick Ocean Grove as my pick.
Yeah, right.
But wouldn't surprise me if any one of the 8 teams get up. Certainly some talent as you look across this green, that's for sure.
What about the local mob, Traralgon Lyrebirds?
Well, they'll be up and about. They'll have the hometown crowd support. And they've actually put together a pretty strong team. There's no weak link in there, that's for sure. Who are you picking, Jimmy? I mean, I don't know whether we're running a book on this, but I should just go with whatever you say, giving you a lead in the tipping.
I think it's going to be very, very hard to beat Deer Park. I think Ocean Grove would be my second tip. And then my smoky would be... I kind of see it on 2 smokies. Brighton really impressed me last week. After probably, with all the change to their team leading in, I didn't have too high hopes for them. And then I also don't mind the Traralgon side. I think it's, with all due respect to the some of the players in there, they're the players that are next cab off the rank for stateside for Victoria.
Yep.
So the players, I mean, Phelps has been in before, but if you look at the state squad, you'd say Todd Trewarn, Luke Hoskin, Vinnie McElwain, are sort of they're that next group just behind. So an event like this could be a massive statement win for all of them. So they're a little bit of a smoke. And I drove Phelpsy up here. They were really looking forward to it. There's a good vibe between them. So Yeah, I think they could go good. Just hanging out, Brenton.
Of course, added to the statement is their shot at winning $80,000, $30,000 first prize. Every team that's made it this far is getting at least $5,000, and just goes up from there to $30,000 for the winner.
Yep. It's a massive prize.
I think it's bigger than BPL's first prize, I think, from memory. It might be 28,000 or something there. So
I think it's bigger than UBC as well. I think
is it really?
If not, it's the same as UBC.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what UBC's is, but it's a very good pickup for any one of these 8 clubs still in the running.
One next door to the Burras. Kicks them off in the triples rink. It's Brendan trying his hardest to get over there. Knocks his other one in, so I would assume they're holding 2 here. I don't think this gets back tone.
May well.
Doesn't.
Well, it probably didn't change too much in their end. But
There's 1 out from Chris Ball. 2 out for the Burras so far, and they'll measure for a third. What a start this is for the pairs rink for the Burras.
Robbie Baker doing the measuring honours.
Three. 4 into a 3 for the Burras. What a start. 7-zip.
Easy game, right?
Oh, when you lead, boss 3 like Robbie Baker did last end, yes. Tell you who wasn't happy with this matchup on the live stream was Mel. The clash in the colours.
Blue and yellow, blue and yellow.
She had a suck at me for it. Like she thinks I'm thinking about that.
Well, I tell you what, you do deserve some credit for picking Traralgon as the finals venue in this sort of weather. Don't know how you managed to sort that out 6 weeks in advance of it, but there's almost nothing you can't do, Jimmy.
I know, that was a stroke of either genius or luck. Start again from Robbie in this direction. Evening, Wazza. You can follow along, mate. The players are live scoring, so if you jump onto the results portal, onto Bowls Link, however you get your results, you'll be able to click into the game, the Magpies v Ocean Grove. Click on the formats of pairs and triples at the moment, you'll get N by N scoring. But I can see in the triples, the Magpies are 6-zip up through 2, but the Grovers lead 1-0 after just a 1 end in the pairs.
Strong start to the Bendigo East Magpies in that one. Robbie Baker asking for it to hurry. A little disappointed.
Yeah, his line was pretty spot on again. Chris Paul's going to have to go with him here because Robbie's been pretty consistent to start with.
Yeah, I don't think we'll keep Chris Ball down for too long.
Almost right on cue, but draws second shot. Evening, Shane. Yeah, we'll be keeping an eye on who's sitting in your spot behind the rink, mate.
Is that grey hoodie man? Is that
yes.
Shane?
Yeah.
There you go.
She's getting through that one a lot quicker than you were, mate.
Robbie Baker changing hands now.
Yeah, but he doesn't want to jack the jack, and he's got his own that sort of, if he gets to the one that he shot, rolls up behind the jack. It's a perfect bowl almost. Good stuff from Robbie Baker. I've got to be honest, it's the first time I've seen him play bowls. Like, I deal with him because he's the bowls coordinator at Sebastopol, but you just forget that these people can play bowls because you deal with them through work, and yeah, I'm impressed so far. Been around for a while though, hey?
Yeah, sure has.
Has Chris gone out?
Speaking of impressive.
Yeah, great reply from Chris.
Gives it a little edge. Still one down, but starting to get his eye in. you look across the green, Jimmy, there are superstars galore out here. We've got international champions, we've got Commonwealth Games gold medalists, world champions, a host of state representatives.
BPL representatives.
Yep. Got just about everyone here.
Joe by Norris next door plays an absolute peach.
He has more talent than just about anyone, Joe by Norris. Fantastic to watch playing bowls.
Second home to Ralgan as well. He's a
Yeah.
very good mates with Vinnie McElwain.
Yep.
Brenton, I want to forget that one. Evening, Cougs, and evening, Casper. Hope you're well, mate. I think Ocean Grove on the live stream tomorrow, just before lunch or around lunchtime. Pretty sure we have the singles. James Pearce being clear this front one. Not going to.
Good support crew from Ocean Grove sitting behind their rinks, which is good to see. They are a club that sticks together quite well.
Just tap Robbie on the shoulder on the way past. Let's get in front of the camera. Needs to be careful of doing that. Evening, Benny. And Vince, I hope we're enjoying your Friday evening's viewing. Can he sit this ball? Oh, it's a bit wide, I think, from Brenton.
Brenton was a winner in Champions Week at Bendigo early this year.
Yeah, we'll be off to Perth pretty soon, next month.
Yeah, representing Victoria in the Nationals.
James is under again, so that'll be 3 in a row to kick us off in this pairs game for the Burras. The triples for Deer Park next door are doing the best to stay with this result on this. It's now 5-1 over there, but yeah, 8-0 on this rink. See Mark Casey sort of half watching this rink as much as he's the rink he's playing in the triples next door.
Yeah, keeping an eye on everything in his case. For those who haven't seen VBL before, no jack rolls in VBL. We speed up the game as much as we can. The jack is placed and mat is placed at the desired length, and away we go, straight into it.
It's going to be an adjustment going back to pennant from that. I'm just used to the ends, just especially on the commentary, just action aplenty, rolling on. Another great start from Robbie Baker.
Tipping there's not too many people here who struggle to roll a jack to the desired length, given the level of bowls we're seeing.
Yeah, fair reply this time from Chris. It's probably where he's been lacking is that first bowl there to sort of work from, that good first dart where he can get in a groove. Asking for it to turn as Robbie gets inside.
So that's all you need to do is just ask it to do it.
Just shout at it. He was kind of pleasant though, so.
He was.
Oh, this feels narrow from Chris. He's walking back on it. This is not the way I saw this pairs game starting, I've got to be honest.
Look, they were having a bit of a roll before, sort of an hour before this match, and James Pearce and Chris Paul putting everything to within a foot. So just taking a few ends to settle in. But
another in there for Robbie.
he's on fire.
Chris Chris is going in. Don't mind this tactic, just to try and change some of it up. Close as well.
Yeah, it's quite a wide target, really. Probably had a 4 or 5 bowl target.
Good hit.
The Jack in the middle. So Jack is now probably 2 foot from the rink marker.
And what that does as well is it just gives Chris a bit of confidence back. Like, he's just been battling on the draw a bit. Now he's nailed that drive. Just help him out. Just a reminder, if you joining VBL coverage for the first time, it's 3 points per match win, so that you win the pairs in this instance, it's 3 points. Same with the triples next door, singles and fours. The team that collects the highest amount of points wins the leg if they are tied on 6 apiece or 4 apiece. It's 1 point for a draw, then it will go to shots up, and then after that it'll be our penalty shootout, which we'll talk about. After this bowl of Brenton Codes, he's trying to draw to the pit. There's no touches in the ditch. Brenton Code, what a start.
Yeah, Robbie Baker likes it. Now, Jimmy, given you were so good at organising the weather, can you organise a penalty shootout in one of these matches this weekend?
I reckon I can. I reckon it's coming.
We weren't far off having one last weekend.
Nor the weekend
before, I should say, at Dandenong Club. Victorian Storm team were...
We were close last weekend as well.
A measure.
Is he going to... Oh, what a shot from James Pearce. The marker for the Jack is about a foot or so to the right of the number as we look at the screen. It's pretty hard to show on the camera. So, can you get that camera down, Brad, or not? Brad, angle the camera down slightly. You can see the white marker there, perfect.
Just in front of Robbie Baker's foot.
So James Pearce has drawn as close as he could have.
What's Snorkel done here, Jimmy? Looks pretty good to me.
Just got to get past and in between the blue and whites, and he goes close. Looks like he has.
Good enough for 2. Also makes it a little bit more difficult for Brenton Code. There we go, the instruction there from Robbie Baker was to play through Britton's first own 2 bowls, and if he tips James Pearce's in, that's not a bad result too.
Not a million miles away, Tone.
Just going to cut under.
Can he get any late to that bowl? He tried. I think he would have still gone in if he'd have connected with it, but...
Chance for 3 now. Deer Park.
James Pearce opting for the forehand just to stay away from everything. This will be a good way of getting him on the board. Good call from James Pearce to get Chris Ball driving at that head with his 3rd bowl. And a good hit from Chris. Don't think it's got the journey. Might be a couple.
It's a good effort, but 2 to Deer Park gets them on the board. They trail 2-8.
The Burras next door in the triples picked a couple up, so 5-3 over there into the 5th end now. So pretty even Stevens so far. The Burras probably slightly in front, shots up. But yeah, 1 rink apiece. Quick updates from the others. It's the Brighton Blue Devils winning both rinks at the moment against the Club Sunbury Extreme. And I know he's listening, so JT will be well and truly out the running of the tipping if he loses that one. The Blue Devils do finish that one off. Grovers and the Bendigo East Magpies are splitting a rink apiece at the moment. And the Doggies lead both rinks against the Lyrebirds, albeit 3-1, 3-2, so pretty close. Great start from Chris. Deliberate change of tactic and length here, Tone. They've gone T to T effectively.
Yeah, their first chance to set the length. Good move from Chris Ball and James Pearce. Change it up slightly. See what that makes Robbie Baker do. He's been putting everything to within about a foot.
inside edge. Stuff. Great leading from the pair of them.
Just a reminder, you can follow along all these scores. Players are live scoring every single match. You get end by end scores through BowlsLink.
Interesting, Chris didn't change his hand here. I knew he'd go pretty close like that, I guess, but certainly looks a better forehand shot for the right hand. Backhand shot for the right hander. Robbie, I understand, because he can play through his own.
He'll sit on Chris balls, which are sort of sitting a bit jack high, maybe bowl behind jack high. He didn't like this one from about halfway down.
He's playing with good weight to try and turn his own, though.
Yep.
Probably a touch quick than he would have wanted, but I like the intent.
I was actually just thinking the same thing, Shane. I thought I should just go over and top up that red wine glass. Yeah, Sarah Rogers saying they mustn't like the ditch hand. When they were having a roll before, they were, going both hands quite comfortably. So I don't quite know why, but we just saw Chris Ball go the ditch side that time without too much trouble. So
yeah, he came back as you would have expected. He's got almost close to the line, so maybe it's just a mental thing with some of them.
Yeah, could be. Good battle, these two. An early lead to Sebastopol Burras. Can't count Deer Park out, that's for sure.
Nah, no way. Can't be counting them out. Looks like the Burras have picked up another end in the triples. I'll wait for the scoreboard to be updated.
A little bit of pilot error on the Dogs versus Lyrebirds scoreboard over there. They're up to 27 ends.
Who's in control of that?
I don't know, it's probably Pidge. 31 ends now. They're gradually getting it back.
James Pearce trying to arrive onto the jack would have been ideal for him, just sweeping through. Brenton needs to get to this jack first, I think, because it's starting to stack up nicely for Deer Park. If he can get the weight right, James Pearce, get a small trail back. Yeah, Tim's saying it's a tough rink to bowl, and we actually played in it when it was a 7 rinker at the Vic Open, so I didn't see too much of it. That actually, the locals say it plays better as an 8 rinker than a 7 rinker.
Yeah, okay. Well, Robbie Baker's not finding it tough. Chris Ball's found it. All 3 bowls on this end, so. I'd find it tough, that's for sure.
You find it tough getting your bowls out of the bag, mate.
This is true. Finding some time to do that.
Yeah, that's what I'm struggling with. I actually have an appetite to go and throw a few down at the moment, but I can't find 5 minutes to do it.
I won't tell Sam, but I did beat him in the office the other day, so pretty comfortably. I put 2 occasions when I didn't have a live bowl on the rink. He only won 3 ends.
Closer from Brenton Code. Can he get this right? Oh.
He's probably a little bit stiff there, isn't he? He hits that flush, it's good. He gets under it, he's probably got the jack to swallow up.
Make a very good 3 here if he gets this right, James Pearce. Foot or so trail on that jack back on this backhand. He's going for it again. You don't want to give players like this 3 bites at the same cherry. Has he got it this time, Tone? He's interested. He is interested. He's very close.
Asking for it to get down. Misses by a whisker.
That's the loudest I've ever heard James be.
It was actually. He actually came right over, for those playing at home, he came right over to the commentary booth as he followed that ball and stalked it. And let out a yelp saying, down.
He's known as a quiet man, but when you get him talking, especially about bowls, he's a bit of a chatterbox.
Yep, spot on.
In the area again, Tone.
Yeah, this is good.
Edge of that is golden. Good stuff from Brenton Code. Good
Tips it
stuff.
over.
Perfect bowl.
Narrowly missed that with his second bowl and gets it with his third.
Was a 2 next door in the triple, so 5 apiece. Cracking start for the Burras. The 3 BV tipsters, myself, JT and Sam, give them no hope. We all tipped Deer Park.
We were talking about this earlier on today, Jimmy, and you look at a team like Sebas. You've got Brenton Code playing singles. He's the current Victorian champion of champions. And then you've got someone like Chris Young who'll skip their fours and probably skip their triples. If he doesn't skip their fours, he's playing 3 to Benny MacArthur, who's also a very good player. So sometimes you'll get 2 rink wins pretty quickly and then you battle it out for 3rd and 4th.
Yeah.
Won't be surprised at all to see Sebastopol win a number of matches here. Good to see them in about these sort of competitions too.
Yeah, it's good to have some representation from that part of the state, 100%.
Yep, under the leadership of Robbie Baker there, and of course Rodney Beckwith, who's the General Manager and CEO of Sebastopol Bowling Club. Nice to see them participating in these sort of events. Sarah Rogers saying he doesn't shut up at home. I find that really hard to believe, but you would be spot on, of course. One of the nicest people in bowls, Sarah Roger.
Finals format, Benny's 2 sections of 4. They'll play each other once. The top 2 from each section will go through to the semi-final, so top of one section plays runner-up from the other and vice versa. Semi-final into a final. So got action tonight till about 10 p.m. and then action all day tomorrow from about 9 to 6 and the same on Sunday. So heaps of bowls to come.
Benny Fletcher's a good judge of bowls. Who's your pick to win, Benny Fletcher? Put it in the comments. You can see all the team lists on Bowls Link. It's a healthy crowd in watching tonight too.
Yeah, it's pretty decent. A good crowd last week at Barham, actually.
What a terrific facility that was too. They had absolutely everything. We were very well looked after.
Shane, someone has just walked up with a bottle of wine for our lady at the back of the rink.
I think this is the one that Shane organised.
She's getting stuck in. Looks like she's sharing it though, unfortunately. Needs to pick either Jack. Yeah, good hit from Chris Paul.
Yep.
That might force some play on the forehand now.
There's not a heap of room there too, with a bit of ditch signage just off to the side. Legit obstacles on the green, not just my skipper in a pairs match. Singles with obstacles.
It's that replay of James Pearce's bowl from before, just missing that jack and leaving that door open for Brenton. Stevie's in the comments as well, mate.
Funny man, Steve Pervenus. And
getting this get down. What a shot from Brenton Code.
Yep, that is the shot bowl. Congratulations on completing your law degree too, Steve Pervenus. Terrific achievement. Well done.
It's a fair effort.
Yep.
Just handed an assignment in myself this morning for mine.
Well done. Maybe Steve Pervenus can go and run Qantas, given it's pretty much been run to the ground. Yeah, nice response from James Pearce.
Yeah, good skipper's game from the pair of them on this end so far. Did he signal he had grabbed the shot then?
No, it didn't quite, so thinking it's still with Brenton Codes.
Oh, he gets half. That's even better for Brenton. Great result. Christina James, if you play a similar bowl to your last, you'll land it out. If you get a piece of the jack, you'll make 2 or 3. Looks like he's under for me here, Tone.
Yeah.
Close your eyes. No, it doesn't get the inside edge. Late turn to go here.
Not a bad effort, is it, Jimmy?
He sits on that. It's a great result and falls back in.
It does.
Brenton Coates dialed in as well here.
Exactly what Robbie Baker said to do. It's finished in a great home, that last bowl of Brenton Codes. It's taken out Jack going straight back for a number for Deer Park.
One down still, probably a little bit of justice in that in the end.
Yep.
Oh, Benny Fletcher going the Sunbury Extreme to win it.
Okay.
They are a good side, to be fair. Any of the 8 can win it. $30,000 up for grabs.
They're playing Mark Bellows leading for Ali Forsyth in their pairs combinations for Sunbury Extreme. Any time you got Ali Forsyth playing singles or skipping a rink, they're generally going to go pretty well. Victorian State coach and selector Ian Ewing is in the house, keeping an eye on the talent.
Yeah, you got Gary Ball coming up on Sunday as well. He's put a request
Major
in.
Ball.
Requesting for an extra large schnitzel with some gravy, he said.
I'm sure you could get that here. Robbie Baker continues with his fine display of lead bowls.
You'd be hoping to watch Chris in the final. Or his doggies as well. Plays for Yarraville Footscray.
Yep.
Great stuff again from Robbie. If you didn't know who was bowling and you just shut your eyes, you'd think you could have someone who's currently playing up in the Gold Coast of Australia at the moment. He's going that good.
He certainly is.
She's now caressing the kookaburra behind the ring. She's on the screen, snuggling in. Want it under them, Robbie.
What can Chris Ball do here, Jimmy?
He's in the area. Get out of the way, Robbie. Yep. Great stuff from Chris.
Lovely.
Top stuff. You can't leave a jack out at this level. That's why Robbie was slightly disappointed. His bowl didn't do anything. Evening all right. He's waiting. He's at home in a bit of pain. He's JT, isn't he?
Any news from you, Ori?
He'd have been no chance of playing this weekend if they'd have made it, and he's baby number 3 hadn't come. So there have been changes in that Barham side.
You're getting nervous every time the phone rings, I reckon, Brett Orr. That's if he's allowed out of the house.
Brenton Code going for some early aggression here, Tone, trying to get back for the jack. Just drifting past.
This is well played.
This is what
went behind is great.
I don't think he'll go as aggressive as he did with his first. He'll be more on the draw, Brenton, with this one. Third shot. Deer Park have one and then next door. I'm just trying to work out where they want the mat. Oh, so Brendan can adjust. There's room for him if he can find this.
It's a combination of bowl 1 and bowl 2 here.
Evening, Simon. Lowy's on tomorrow, mate. He'll be on tomorrow afternoon, around about 4 o'clock. Oh, sorry, around about tomorrow morning, around about 11 o'clock. And possibly the afternoon, depending on how the sections are lining up. Try and string games that have got positional meaning on them.
Not a bad effort here, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Not a bad effort here.
Touches the jack as well. Don't know if that's 2 for 2 or is it added a third.
Well, I reckon Chris Ball signalled 3. We'll just confirm. I think Robbie Baker wants this to be only 2. He's having a bit of a giggle, but he will put a tape on it.
Just make Chris do it.
Well, why not?
You want it, mate. You measure for it.
Yep. Yeah, go the Saners, Casper. I hoped we can get over the, what do they call themselves, the Orange Dream or whatever. It was only 2.
The Orange Dream.
Oh, they call themselves something silly up there, GWS. Orange Hurricane or some rubbish. So fingers crossed.
So 3 next door to Deer Park, so they lead 8-5 into the 8th end over there.
Yeah, JT's back's no good, Ori. And, well, I haven't heard a different story as to how it happened, so I'll run with yours.
Old age.
Slipping getting out of the bath. He's having a bath at 11:30 in the morning too, that's the weird bit.
Yeah, when he's supposed to be at work.
Yeah, good start from Chris Ball.
Bit of noise on the far rink. Looks like the Lyrebirds have made something happen.
They're locked in a very close battle over there, 4-all in the pairs. Nels, the Doggies and Lyrebirds 4-all after 5 ends, and then the Dogs lead 6-3 after 6 ends.
Triples they lead. Pairs are tied.
Can follow along on Bowls Link on all these scores end by end.
Chris Ball, can he get in front? Just pulling up. Robbie Baker just dropping under. Yeah, he's just saying effectively don't be short. To Chris Ball. Try and land the jack, get it back, or if he gets his own at the front, he'll come through the two reds. It'll come back from there. It's been turning pretty nicely on this forehand down here. And as I say, that just sort of probably hangs a tiny bit on him.
Just a touch.
They have been turning back to the line pretty well so far. Going to stay wide on this one. Robbie and go right to the back. Stays on.
Dead ends are replayed here in VBL. It's kind of an interesting one for me, Jimmy. You've seen a bit of the World Championships on in the last couple of weeks, and they have dead ends in World Championships. Isn't quite...
respots, you mean?
Sorry, respots in World Championships. Doesn't quite tell you. You'd think they'd be dead ends there.
It doesn't make any sense to me. But a lot of it hasn't made sense to me. The way they've done the sectional and stuff is a bit baffling to me. I heard Kenya just turned up today as well, didn't they?
Just got the dates wrong on the calendar.
Yeah, less of a target, so he's going to have to draw this cold. He's coming on the backhand though, so that's what Robbie's calling him on. He's going to try and splash through the reds.
I actually thought Robbie Baker still had shot, but maybe that's not right. I thought Brenton Code signalled earlier that they held one.
Needs a result now. Oh. It's changed, isn't it?
Yeah, Robbie Baker signals one, so...
Chris Ball signals one down, so it looks like they're in agreement on that. One ball left to come from each skip. 15 ends in total of these pairs games, so there's probably another 2 or 3. Deer Park are going to want to win probably 3 of the next 4.
Yep. They just picked up a single in the triples, Deer Park.
One to come.
She's now got that kookaburra sitting on her knee, Jimmy. It's quite the progression down there in the seats behind the rink.
No more. That's enough. No more red wine. No more progressions of kookaburras. I don't know, but they're playing a good game from the back of the head. I can see him saying, I'll be coming down on the forehand there. Nice little trundle.
Much like the commentator seats. It's an easy game from here.
I've seen at least 2 shakes of the head whilst he played that. These are the type of moments that he needs to make something happen here, James Pearce. Need to make something work. The guys are in the way of the camera. He almost stands Chris Balls up, but doesn't.
shot here for Brenton Coe, Jimmy.
He's got to come. I can't see a shot forehand for him. Has to come backhand.
Tip his own over.
Yeah, but he's got to be thinking in his head as we look at the head here. He's blue and white in front. He's got to be thinking, I've got to catch the outside edge of that. Because if he's thinking just hit the bowl, he could risk coming narrower and getting into them to a deer park. So I think that's what he's trying to do, and stay wide. Like, you'd rather it come from wide.
If you're going to miss wide, absolutely. Danger, of course, is Chris Ball's front bowl. Doesn't want to promote that in.
He's the type of shots, personally. I mean, I don't rate myself. I'm no good at it. If I tell myself, be wide, because this could happen, I'm automatically a little bit narrow. Oh, let's give this a ripping effort, Tone.
Yeah,
can he sit it down? Great stuff from Brenton Coe.
Terrific bowling. That is 2.
It's a massive thumbs up from his lead, Robbie Baker. Great stuff from Cody.
Actually used to be a theory about the mental aspect of saying don't miss narrow. You actually then have the thought in your head of I'm going to miss narrow.
Well, that's what happens to me.
Yeah. That's what they say to young kids. They say, don't drop that bowl of spaghetti. And all the kid thinks is drop the bowl of spaghetti, drop the bowl of spaghetti. Whereas if you actually say hold on to that spaghetti tightly, right, hold on to it tightly. Never work with me. I'd probably still drop the bowl of spaghetti.
We'll get Buzz on at some point the weekend. I think he's was keen for a... I'm surprised he's not sitting there next to that lady drinking red wine with her. He was keen for one of them.
He said it was perfect weather.
For whiskey and...
just one little glass.
Yeah, watch out, Terrell, when Buzz is about.
He'll be terrorising the nightclubs later on, I'd imagine, Buzz. Good response here from Chris Ball. Lovely opening bowl.
Good stuff by him. Just a quick go around the ground. Still, Doggy's leading one leg and drawing the other with the Lyrebirds over on the far side. The Grovers and the Magpies are splitting one apiece. The Brighton Blue Devils are both legs in front at the moment against Club Sunbury Extreme, 183, 110-5. And then obviously one apiece in this one. Flying through the ends as well, Tone, in this one. Just 55 minutes gone, and we're already on the 9th end.
Yeah, we started just a touch ahead of schedule.
They were eager, the players, aren't they?
They were. They were ready to go, and with $80,000 on the line, why not?
Normally you're sort of trying to cajole them to the green, say, come on, let's go.
That might be tomorrow morning.
Yeah. Evening, Mickey West. I know you're watching from the other side of the green, so fair play for making the trip up. We'll get Buzz on when he's nice and ready in the morning. First game on, so he's got to go to bed early tonight. Just be on from Robbie, good stuff. If you're not going to get shot, get a pretty good second, and that's what he's done. I haven't seen Chris Ball chase too many down.
Yeah, that's good enough for a couple. Well played, Chris Ball. That was what he was doing at will this afternoon.
Evening, Brendan. you're enjoying the bowls here. As Brenton Code, can he hold on? Just under. Fabulous effort.
It's good weight from James Pearce, just a touch under that.
He's only going to make the smallest of corrections here, Brenton. Very good on his first.
Gets it away smooth as silk, does Brenton
Yeah,
Code.
does. Can he just hold a bit here? Go in. Hey, once they start swooping here, they just start real swooping.
James Pearce will not miss this, Jimmy. You can put this in the book as holding 3 after this bowl.
You reckon?
Yep.
That's some confidence there. Have you watched this on fast forward or something? Or
I can see into the future every now and again.
don't give us the lotto numbers, Toe.
He's let me down. Come on, Snorkel.
I've never heard a more confident. I actually could have been conned into thinking you'd watched this before.
I dead set saw that in my head. I asked for that, didn't I?
Yep.
Couldn't have been more confident about anything.
Let's ask him to attack here. He's going to go big at it. There you go.
Oh, well played.
gets them both, but
Once
it locks from
Dicks
the.
around.
Still won the Deer Park. He got it as he wanted. He just locked in at the back with the red bowl of Robbie's. They must take these shots. Deer Park, if they hope of getting back in it. Oh, you meant his third bowl, didn't you? Yeah.
That's exactly what I said.
Yeah. Couple to Deer Park. 12-6 now. On to the 10th end.
Tommy Hines, a couple of rinks over, must be very attached to those sunglasses, given we're inside and it's night time. Still has them on his head. Maybe it's just to keep his hair in place.
Smart. You have that trouble.
Don't have any trouble with hair. Doesn't block the drain or anything. There's none left. Could say I had it before I started working alongside you. But that'd be a lie as well. Haven't had any for years.
10-5 next door in the triples rink. Now, if we're a chance of getting a penalty shootout, Tone, these are the type of games where they happen. So we're 17-16 overall scores. It's one leg apiece. This is where it can happen.
I think we've had a couple of opportunities. That Dogs Lyrebirds match has been 3-all, 4-all, now 6-all. And their triples rink is 8-6. So
it's a reminder.
only 2 shots the diff there.
For those who haven't tuned into VBL, if we're tied on points picked up across the 4 disciplines, so I'd be 6 apiece or 4-1, or probably less if there's even more draws, but 1 point for a draw. Then it goes to shots up. If we're tied on shots up, we go to a penalty shootout now. I've said this joke a few times before, but it was pretty funny, so I'm going to say it again. Now you Australians are familiar with soccer and penalty shootouts after you won that amazing penalty shootout against the French, but then come unstuck against the mighty Lionesses. We'll have 5 players, obviously 5 aside, 1 bowl singles. You got to name your order before, and they play 1 at a time. So effectively, whoever wins the 3 of the 5 is the winner.
Good to see the Lionesses really made the most of beating Australia and moved on to choke in the final.
Yeah, 2nd to 4th it's a big gap, and no one wants to be 4th. Fancy winning Fancy not even, like, you lost 2 games in a row. Good stuff from Chris Ball.
You are correct, Sarah Roger. They are the 2 named singles players, of course.
Can change.
They can change in between leagues.
That'll be a great game. I mean,
absolutely.
As it was last week and the week before, all the singles the games, you look at it on paper and go, yeah, wow, that's going to be phenomenal. We'll, of course, be streaming Chris Rosanna's from Brighton Blue Devils against Ali Forsyth from Club Sunbury Extreme. Well, they do, Casper, because both you and Tony have mentioned the runners-up, so quite clearly people do. Oh, Robbie Baker, good home.
I had actually forgotten all about it until you mentioned it.
It was an enjoyable morning at work the next morning, that's all I remember.
It's always good fun working at Bowls Victoria. Got a job going in our comms and marketing area. Anybody with skills in comms and marketing, drop us a bell. Looking for a communications and marketing coordinator. Come and have some fun. You get to work alongside Jimmy Whitehead. Of course.
That's in the negative column, then, yeah.
Yes, but the positive is you get to work alongside the one and only Melanie Allen, our comms and marketing manager, who's done a cracker job designing all the uniforms, putting together everything here for the VBL. Nice bowl, James Pearce, starting to hit his straps. Robbie Baker, so I'm happy if you want to go at it. Britain Code.
Yeah, he
ran a good hit last end.
He needs to change something up here. It's going to be very difficult for him to draw in its current state.
Not going full weight, just going half weight.
Close tone. Something's going to happen out. Oh, it's probably the least result for him.
It's a good effort. Pretty handy for James Pearce too.
This is the
Just
blocker.
Needs to run.
This is the blocker. Still there though for Brenton. Gets past that. Yeah, the edge of them bowls. He could probably get all 3 if he goes well. Still got one more after this. That delivery is absolute silk, isn't it?
It sure is.
It's close. Oh, needs the hole past his front
good.
one. Needs the hole past the front one. Yeah, well. Look.
I don't know if that was exactly how he saw it, but it was a chance of happening.
I mean, Robbie was like, if he cleared that bowl, it was great anyway, but he kind of got it in a roundabout way.
Matthew Styles. No, there's not. There probably should be though.
Yeah, definitely at least double tall. James Pearce.
Yeah, well played, Snorkel.
Spits that jack out, good stuff. Makes a shot.
1 down to 1 up.
There's no way of extracting that bowl, really. I mean, he can run it his own here, Brenton. He can run it his own to get across and get James's out, because they've got probably the next 2 or 3 after. I just wait till Robbie moves out the head to count them all up, but you can see him looking at it. Through the blue and white. The one that's on the tee gets rid of James Pearce's bowl. If that blue stays, it's probably worth 3.
Yep.
And he's driving pretty well. We saw his last 2, like aggressive swingers is what I'll call them. Not as light as a swinger, but definitely not a full-blooded drive.
How many G's in swingers?
Don't know. No art as a swinger.
I love it.
He is. That's what he's doing. I'll call him, Brenton. You play him. Let's go. Right. First part's pretty good here, Tone.
That's very good.
He's pretty good here. Oh, it's a great shot from Brenton Code.
Yeah, well
Superb
played.
stuff.
1 down to 2 up. I'm going to have a look and see if it's 3.
Robbie Baker saying that is a great shot.
It is.
Just feel so validated as a commentator when you, oh, this is what you should play.
I wouldn't know. I made one call earlier and got it absolutely wrong.
Great stuff. They are turning the screw in this pairs game. The boys from Sebastopol.
It's a pretty handy combination when Robbie Baker leading hasn't missed much.
Well,
And Brenton Code skipping hasn't missed much.
in theory, in my head, and again, I'll admit to saying this before the game, I've actually never seen Robbie Baker bowl. I've just dealt with him from an administration side, and in my head, the switch of Chris Young coming out made it weaker. But in fact, it's probably made it stronger because Robbie Baker's just gone real hot, and then Brenton's now making big moments happen in this game. So superb stuff. And Chris and James is just trying to minimise it. It's all they can really do at the moment as Robbie goes good again to start with.
And then what a luxury to have Chris Young as middle pin in the triples.
Yeah. Fair reply from Chris though. Trying to take the sting out of things here. Burras pull another one back in the triples next door, so 10-6.
Ocean Grove up and about a few rinks over. The night is starting to liven up. If you get the opportunity, you want to see some cracker bowls all weekend, come on down to Tarragon Bowls Club. We're here right through until Sunday evening. Robbie Baker continues on his merry way.
It's a perfect balance, hey, this VBL finals weekend. We've got 4 metro teams and 4 regional based teams. So got a couple of one all metro, one all regional games this evening, and 2 splits.
Yep.
It's exactly what the sort of event, one of the reasons the event was made. And to see the best of regional play against the best of metro, just don't get enough opportunities currently. And yeah, it's proven to be good watching so far.
Yeah, making it look easy, that's for sure.
Good home in the end for Brenton Code. Still 1 then to the Burras. It's warming up under here, and you can see a few hoodies coming off. Like, I'm fairly warm under here.
Perfect.
What's blowing 400k winds outside? Turn his own down. And another good home from Cody. Pretty clear what Chris is calling James on.
Far away, says Chris Ball.
Can he hold on? Yes, he can.
Well played.
Oh, that jack moved on him, though. That jack moved.
Just haven't been allowed to play well by the Sebastopol pairing.
Do you think they're holding here? I can't read the body language.
It is super close, I think.
Kind of like off our camera angle, like Deer Parks, but side on where we are, I kind of like the Sebastopol.
Yeah, I think Brenton Code's bowl has it at the back, but one that's sort of half leaning on an angle.
See if we can get Brenton on the way through. He's zoned in. Evening Eastoke. Evening T-Bone. It was, to be fair, it was nearly 33 in Victoria yesterday, and it's just completely flipped on its head overnight. I left work to watch Lenny's Athletics in a t-shirt, and then went to the footy and got to the footy completely drenched.
Yep. It's a shocking afternoon yesterday. And good old Mother Nature's followed it up today. 24 degrees here in a few days' time, though, just as we roll out of town, unfortunately. But part of the deal. Thank goodness for a fully enclosed facility here.
Yeah, I think we're all counting our blessings there. Can he make his way all the way across this pack of bowls? See if we can get snorkel. Try and work out who's holding. Deer Park tone with a huge 4 next door in the triples. 14-6 they now lead. 14-6.
Yeah, that's a big 4 over there too, negates and then some, the result here for Deer Park.
I don't know what I've done to the scoreboard here, but I'm doing something wrong. 14-6. Is that right?
Yeah, must be 1 to Deer Park. Chris Ball's gone to get the mat, so 1 to Deer Park.
If we are going to get a tie, this is the one, Tone. 15-7, 14-6 means 21 apiece. 1 leg apiece. Come on, lads, get us there.
Yep.
Evening, Sachi. Yes, I am, mate. Even despite the system trying to rob me of some tips last week and removing a set of my tips, in the end, I fixed it up and only missed out on 1 game, which I would have tipped correctly and would have been a solid 1 clear of everyone else. But currently sharing the lead with a couple of people. I don't even know who. I need to go check. 3 weeks, wow. There's a few saying he wouldn't get a ban, but there you go.
Yeah, he'll get off at the tribunal. I've been wrong on everything else tonight. So.
Shot from Robbie. Side hopper. It's missing from Chris, so can double up here, Robbie, with his last before the skip's going to play their 3.
Robbie Baker just doing as he pleases.
Evening, Karen and Rob. Tuning into a cracker here. We'd be all tied on the overall 21 apiece, but 1 leg each is the more important thing here, as James Pearce whacking Chris Ball's closest bowl away, and you can see the grimace in Chris's face. He's a bit annoyed about that. They're a few down now. Brenton can add some insult to injury. Needs inside of that tone. Oh, it's a feather and misses under. So still 3 to Burras. Brenton Code can add a 4th. And it's getting harder and harder for them to come back in this pairs game currently, unless some magic from Snorkel happens on his last bowl.
It's also not a huge target now, and there's still 3 down. Only 1 live bowl. Oh, Brenton Code, I don't know whether he was wrapped with how that came out. It's like he thought it was a bit hot straight out of the hand. There we go, Chris Ball saying to James Pearce to draw the shot, mate.
Yeah, okay. Otherwise, they're in a fair bit of pain. More balls on the bank than they've got on the green.
Getting absolutely picky, but it is a bit of a miss from Brenton Code with that last bowl. Depending on where this bowler James Pearce finishes, it could have been removed for.
I don't think he's got the legs. I don't think he's got the legs, Tone.
Oh boy.
He could probably sit that one if he's aggressive for 6 at the back. Oh, he said his bowl's in.
Well, yeah, it is now with that short one from James Pearce. Wouldn't expect James Pearce to put that in quite that short.
It's going to be a...
Breton Code is good enough to add another one here. That'll be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I'll tell you what, Dick, you're obviously listening
6.
to a very different game to the one I'm commentating on, mate. I don't think I could have given any more praise to the guys from Sebastopol. I think I've called Brenton Cody about 10 times, so you go have yourself another drink, mate, and put a smile on your face somewhere. Because you are miles off the mark, pal.
Just going to measure. So Roy Baker said this was 6 pretty confidently.
Did he? Yeah, right.
Doesn't look like it could be anywhere near it from here, but...
Not the angle we're on.
No, but I'll back his judgment, and he's spot on. That is a full count of 6.
That pretty much, you would think, ends the pairs game almost here. That's almost insurmountable now for the guys from Deer Park. That's a chance got round the back. Number 1 supporter so far.
So 15 ends in both our pairs and triples.
$14-7 next door, so 1 back for the Burras.
Robbie Baker just not missing.
Nah, not really at all. And there's another score to go on next door. I think they'll be on their last end over there. Yeah, it's gone up to 9 for the Burras now, so another 2 for them. Start from Robbie again. He's been the player on this rink so far.
Sachi asking if Ali is winning, Jimmy. I reckon his side are down 4-14. He's been on the drive a bit, Ali Forsyth.
Yeah, he... is that a sign he's in the game or not in the game? He does drive a fair bit anyway. Looks like mate Dick's copping a spray. Thanks everyone for jumping in. Oh, shot from Chris, just hides it behind that bowl of Robbie's though. I just don't think it's one thing got copped. Like, the only time I can ever be accused of bias is commentating on Melbourne, and I'm very aware of what I'm doing when I'm doing it, but no dogging this far. I'm just hoping for a good bowl. So. And I've definitely said it a few times. I've been so impressed by Robbie Baker, who we're messaging JT to give me. I said, is he... Well, I've not seen him play before. And he said, no, this is pretty standard for Robbie. He's a very good player and has been for a long time.
Anyway, we're all wrong every now and again.
Yeah, more so at home than anywhere else. In for 3, Robbie confirms.
It's just pressure piling all the time here.
I don't know what they're going to do in the 4s, but if it was me, I'd be keeping Robbie Baker leading over there. As the Lyrebirds on the far rink go up. And the nip and tuck game with the Yarraville Footscray Dogs. Dogs just in front on both rinks over there.
Craig Mills winding up for a big drive for Yarraville. Smashes the head clean, Jack out of bounds, so they'll reset. Keep the home crowd a little quieter.
Yeah, good shout, James.
Now snorkel going here, Jimmy.
Close.
Yeah,
no cigar, though.
3 down to 1 down.
I think this is what I like bowls on an indoor venue like this as well. You can quite easily hear what a player's calling his teammate on. You hear that one of Robbie. So you can afford to sit down the shot bowl.
Joe's Pearce coming up to have a look.
Morning, Andy from the UK, and evening, Brad Jenner. I know you're on the Borough train, mate. Half of Fitzroy's team come from over, but no, I'm joking. You get some good mates in Ballarat. They're doing very good in this pairs game in particular. 14-9 with 2 ends to play in the triples next door. So an outside sniff of jagging that rink. Looks like they're holding 1 at the moment. Benny MacArthur's got 1 bowl to come. That's the last bowl over there. So they would be in with a sniff going in the last end.
This looks a touch wide for me. 1 more to Sebastopol. Move on to 22-7.
2 to play. Oh, it might be. I tell you what, it's got very interesting next door. J-Ball's just hit a drive. They were actually 4 down. He's cut it back to 3. So the Burras, the Burras are on with a massive sniff next door. They're now only 2 behind going in the last end. So 14-12 over there. Wow. Drama aplenty next door. We'll try to talk you through it as we go through the last couple of ends of this pairs, which is, well, it's over as a contest.
Robbie Baker's up and about. He's keeping an eye on the scoreboard next door, just checking if what scores have been added on.
So he was sick. He was pretty sick actually. He was in hospital during the sectional weekend 1. But he was texting me a fair bit, and he was real up and about when they qualified for finals weekend. He said, "This is amazing." So he's just carrying that enthusiasm in, I think.
Yeah, good call, Brad Jenner. We'll put that to the officiating and laws committee. We'll see if we can't tighten up that loophole.
That have half a side.
The Dogs and Traralgon Lyrebirds has levelled right up. That's now 13 all on one rink and 11-10 on the pairs. So
yeah,
that has gotten close.
Looks like the Blue Devils are going to get the extreme. They're 13-8 up and 18-4 up in both legs. So they'll look like they'll lead 6-zip going into the singles and the fours. Grovers and the Magpies is close, not on the one rink, 20-1 the Grovers in the pairs over the Magpies, but 10-9 the way the Magpies in the triples with about 4 ends left to go. Robbie Baker trying to get in front of this one. Just running into the back of it. And yeah, as you said, exceptionally close in the Dogs and Lyrebirds tussle on the far side of the green from where we are. And a pretty decent crowd on all around.
They'll get louder as the night goes on.
See what's going on next door. I think that's 1 to the Burras. It's Chris Young the third. Oh no, 3 to Deer Park.
Yeah,
it says.
Tommy Hicks's bowl is
Yeah,
the
okay.
blue and orange half, and Mark Casey's the blue and white half.
Giving themselves the chance. Been behind pretty much all the game in that triples, the Burras. Chasing Deer Park, but getting close towards the end.
Robbie Baker saying Breton Code needs another 2 foot.
Evening, Nathan. Hope you're well, mate. You enjoyed your trip.
Just a whisker off all night, Deer Park. Trails that jack back to hold 3. Just gets the edge of it. Probably still just 1. Deer Park holding 4 over on the triples.
Skips bowls to come, so Benny MacArthur's got a fair bit of work to do over there. Looks like he's short with his first as Brenton tries to get it back from Robbie's bowls, but nothing happening. So reminder, we'll be back up and running for the next game at about 8:05, and that'll be the singles game between the Brighton Blue Devils and the Club Sunbury Extreme, which we expect to be Chris Rosanis for Brighton and Ali Forsyth for the Extreme. That's a different way of finger measuring.
Yeah.
He's calling him to be positive, so we've probably got 2 seconds. Needs to hold a bit.
Yeah, it's not far off. Yeah, wow.
He's in some good form. I wouldn't want to play him in a singles game next up. That him and J-Bar game will be phenomenal.
Just catches the edge. Well played, Brenton Code. Benny MacArthur on the rink next door has a fair bit against him. He's down at least 4. Only real opportunity is to try and stone cold draw it. In which case they're going to go down by a shot.
James Pierce just missing.
Takes out his own bowl.
Clipping his own. They're going to drop another few here.
One, 2. The tape comes out.
Chris Look has a look at him. Can this just be the last end on his face?
So Deer Park look to be holding 3. Joe Norris still has 1 bowl to come in the triples next door.
4 to the Burras. What a result for them in this pairs game. 26-7 they lead now. Huge margin. And for those of us riding the draw, they're doing their best to rub that out of the equation. This pairs rink of Robbie Baker and Brenton Code. As Jay tries to has another next door. He does for 4, was that signal?
I'd say that is 4.
So the triples rink will go to Deer Park. They'll pick up a 4 on the final end after a great fight back by the Burras in that one. So it'll be 18-12. They got it back to 14-12 going in that last end.
And this, of course, is our last end here in the pairs. Chris Ball on the mat.
Handy bowl.
Opening bowl. The third bad bowl for Robbie Baker all night.
It made me laugh. He's 26-7 up. He's bowled the house down and he's
not happy.
He's giving it to himself because he's short. Yeah, it's been a very tough outing for Chris and James there, I agree. I think they'll just be keen to get on the next one. Can happen at this level. You're slightly off your game and you just get punished by high level opposition. Frustrated with himself again.
We are all done on the match between Brighton Devils against Club Sunbury Extreme. Brighton take both legs there, so they're 2-zip. If they can get a clean sweep, that's worth an extra 5 points on their total.
The Doggies Lyrebirds close, 13 apiece in the triples, 14-10. The Doggies now in the pairs. They look to be the furthest behind of all games though, so look like we'll take out full time limit at 2 hours. Grovers and the Magpies 1 leg apiece here.
We've got a few killed ends over in that Lyrebirds v Dogs match.
Yeah, some big driving skips there. Millsy and Pidge for Yarraville and Todd Trelawn and Luke Hoskin for the Lyrebirds. Just a reminder, we'll have a short break and then we'll be up for some singles action around about 5 past, maybe 10 past 8. It'll be singles and fours, but we'll be streaming the singles.
21 up in the singles and 12 ends in the fours, Jimmy?
Yep. Just pulling up from Brenton Code.
Fair to say a bit of the sting has gone out of this one.
Yeah, it's
The 26-7 margin in the last end.
the most polite skipping I've ever seen. You're only this far off for your first, but I'm just letting you know if you prefer to come this hand, there are a couple of options through here. But I'm going to leave it up to you. Brendan just saying, can you just tell me if we're holding or not? Looks like he's going to come the backhand option, try and bring one of his own bowl, or bring his sit and stay maybe, is that what he's trying?
He's hardly missed a runner all night. We'll put the Moz on him.
Oh, well. Close for shot, Chris is saying. He's going to try and land the red on his backhand. Here's James Pearce.
Through the gap. Been one of those nights for James Pearce and Chris Paul. They've not been far away, but Sebastopol Burras on fire.
Yeah, what a win. I'll take this one out. Either 27-7 or 26-8, as we find out from this measure. It's 1 to Deer Park. Yeah, what a start for the Burras in this pairs. And they'll have the shots advantage going into singles and fours, so work to do for Deer Park in this one. Reminder, we'll be back about 8:05 for the game between the Brighton Blue Devils and the Club Sunbury Extreme. As always, thank you to our streaming partners, Moama Bowls Club and the Dandenong Club, for helping us bring this stream. And yeah, join us back in about half an hour's time.
The Traralgon Bowls Club. Amazing food for you and your family. Function rooms for celebrating with your friends. Corporate spaces for meetings and conferences. With special benefits for members, visit us today at the Traralgon Bowls Club. More than just a bowls club.